The baseball world is absolutely buzzing right now, and if you're a Dodgers fan, you need to hear every single word of what I'm about to tell you. A seismic revelation just dropped that has the entire MLB community in complete shock, and it involves one of the most beloved players to ever wear Dodger blue. This isn't just another rumor or speculation. This is real. It's happening now, and it could completely change the trajectory of the 2026 season and the Dodgers' unprecedented quest for a historic three-peat. Picture this: a former Dodgers superstar, a player who once stood at the absolute pinnacle of baseball excellence, who wore the crown as the National League's most valuable player, who made Chavez Ravine his personal stage for some of the most electrifying moments in franchise history, has just made it crystal clear that he wants to come home. That's right, home. To Los Angeles. To the only place where he truly felt he belonged. And he's not being shy about it either. His agent just went public with information that has sent shockwaves through front offices across the league and has Yankees management absolutely fuming. We're talking about Cody Bellinger, and before you roll your eyes or think this is just another off-season fantasy, let me tell you exactly why this is not only possible, but increasingly likely. The Dodgers front office, the same brilliant minds that orchestrated back-to-back World Series championships in 2024 and 2025, are right now, at this very moment, evaluating one of the most strategic roster decisions they've faced in years. And Bellinger's name isn't just on the list. It's circled, highlighted, and sitting front and center on Andrew Friedman's desk. Let's rewind for a moment and remember who Cody Bellinger really is. This isn't just some journeyman looking for one last payday. This is a player who absolutely dominated during his time in Los Angeles. We're talking about a two-time All-Star, who in 2019 put together one of the most complete offensive seasons we've seen in the modern era. That year, he didn't just win the MVP award, he obliterated the competition. His 8.7 wins above replacement, according to Baseball Reference, wasn't just good, it was historically elite. He was the complete package, a five-tool player who could hit for average, hit for power, steal bases, play Gold Glove caliber defense, and make the routine look spectacular. For 6 glorious seasons, Bellinger was the face of the Dodgers' future. He represented everything the organization stood for: youth, talent, athleticism, and that undeniable star quality that makes casual fans buy jerseys and diehard fans believe championships are inevitable. His first All-Star selection came in 2017 when he was just a rookie taking the league by storm. By 2019, he was essentially unstoppable, and Dodger Stadium would erupt every single time he stepped into the batter's box. Those were the days when it felt like anything was possible every time he came to the plate. But then, as we all painfully remember, things changed. Injuries derailed what should have been a Hall of Fame trajectory. His production declined. The swing that once looked effortless became complicated. The confidence that radiated from him seemed to fade. And eventually, in a move that broke the hearts of Dodgers fans everywhere, the organization made the difficult decision to non-tender him after the 2023 season, allowing him to become a free agent. He signed with the Chicago Cubs, and for many, that chapter seemed closed forever. Cody Bellinger was no longer a Dodger, and we all had to accept that painful reality. Fast forward to today, and everything has changed. Scott Boras, Bellinger's high-powered agent and one of the most influential figures in baseball, recently made statements that have completely altered the landscape of the Dodgers' off-season planning. Boras revealed that Bellinger has incredible memories of his time in Los Angeles, that playing in Hollywood left an indelible mark on him, and most importantly, that he would be genuinely interested in returning. These aren't vague pleasantries or negotiating tactics. This is a legitimate expression of desire from a player who understands that his best days, his glory days, his most meaningful baseball moments all happened while wearing Dodger blue. Boras went even further, explaining that athletes who experience the unique environment of playing for the Dodgers, with that passionate fan base, that winning culture, that beautiful ballpark, and that magical Southern California lifestyle, often find themselves wanting to return. It gets in your blood. It becomes part of who you are. And for Bellinger, who spent his formative years as a professional in Los Angeles, who won his MVP there, who experienced the highest highs of his career there, the pull to come back is apparently stronger than anyone realized. Now let's talk about why this makes so much sense right now from a pure baseball perspective. The Dodgers are chasing history. They're attempting to become only the second team in the modern era to win 3 consecutive World Series championships, something that hasn't been accomplished since the Yankees dynasty of the late 1990s. To achieve this, management knows they cannot be complacent. They cannot rest on their laurels. They must continue to identify weaknesses and address them aggressively, even after winning it all twice in a row. And here's where the story gets really interesting. The Dodgers' outfield situation heading into 2026 is far from settled. In fact, it might be their biggest question mark. Last offseason, the front office signed Michael Conforto to a 1-year deal worth $17 million, expecting him to provide veteran stability and consistent production. What they got instead was arguably the worst season of his entire career. His batting average plummeted, his power numbers disappeared, his on-base percentage became a liability rather than an asset. The result? He wasn't even selected for the playoff roster despite his hefty salary. The coaching staff completely lost confidence in him, and that $17 million investment essentially went up in smoke. But the problems didn't stop with Conforto. Teoscar Hernandez, who has been a valuable piece of the Dodgers' championship puzzle with his offensive contributions, showed serious defensive limitations when playing right field throughout the 2025 season. His arm strength is fine, but his routes to balls were inconsistent. His positioning was occasionally questionable, and there were too many moments when the Dodgers' pitching staff paid the price for defensive miscues. Baseball is a game of inches, and in the playoffs, every single play matters. The front office knows this better than anyone. So here we are. The Dodgers need outfield help. They need a player who can defend multiple positions at an above-average level. They need someone who understands the pressure of playing in Los Angeles. They need a left-handed bat to balance a lineup that sometimes skews too heavily right-handed, and they need someone who has experience winning in the postseason. Guess who checks literally every single one of those boxes? Cody Bellinger. Now, you might be asking, what about Kyle Tucker? He's the big name on the free agent market this year, a 28-year-old superstar in his absolute prime, who just put together another fantastic season with the Chicago Cubs. Tucker would be a dream acquisition for any team, and the Dodgers have certainly done their homework on him. But here's the reality. Tucker is going to command an absolutely massive contract, potentially in the neighborhood of $300 million or more over 8 or 9 years. While the Dodgers have deep pockets and have never been afraid to spend when the right opportunity presents itself, there's a growing perception around baseball that they won't be the highest bidder in the Tucker sweepstakes. Other teams, perhaps the Yankees or Phillies or Giants, are expected to go absolutely all in with offers that might exceed even what the Dodgers are comfortable committing. This is where Bellinger becomes not just a sentimental choice, but a legitimately smart baseball decision. He's younger than Conforto, more proven than most of the other available options, and he wouldn't require the kind of contract that could hamstring the franchise for the next decade. Plus, and this is crucial, Bellinger has evolved as a hitter in ways that make him even more attractive than he was during his decline years in Los Angeles. Last season, his strikeout rate dropped to just 13.7%, which is remarkable in today's game where strikeouts have become almost epidemic. This demonstrates significantly improved plate discipline, better bat control, and a more mature approach at the plate. He's making more contact, putting more balls in play, and avoiding the all-or-nothing swings that plagued him during his injury-riddled seasons. Think about what this means. The Dodgers would be getting a version of Cody Bellinger who has learned from his struggles, who has rediscovered his confidence, who has proven he can still perform at a high level, and who desperately wants to finish his career where it all began. He wouldn't be coming back as a broken player trying to recapture past glory. He'd be coming back as a complete player who has something to prove, who wants to win championships in Dodger blue, and who understands the stakes of this historic three-peat attempt. Let's also talk about the intangibles, because in baseball, those matter more than statistics sometimes reveal. Bellinger knows this organization inside and out. He came up through the Dodgers farm system. He understands the culture. He has relationships with players still on the roster. He knows what it takes to win in Los Angeles, and he's experienced both the incredible highs and the crushing lows that come with wearing that uniform. There would be zero adjustment period. He could step into spring training, pick up right where he left off, and immediately contribute both on the field and in the clubhouse. Furthermore, consider the message this would send to the rest of the league. The Dodgers aren't just content with back-to-back titles. They're actively hunting for any advantage, any edge that could help them make history. Bringing back a former MVP who rejected bigger offers elsewhere specifically to return home demonstrates the kind of magnetic pull this franchise has. It shows that players want to be Dodgers, that the culture Andrew Friedman and the front office have built is something special, something worth taking less money to be part of. And make no mistake, Bellinger would likely be taking less money to return to Los Angeles compared to what he could get on the open market from desperate teams willing to overpay for his services. The Yankees, for instance, are reportedly interested and could offer significantly more guaranteed money. But according to sources close to the situation, Bellinger has made it clear that money isn't the only factor. He wants to win. He wants to be somewhere that feels like home. He wants to finish what he started in Los Angeles. In his own words relayed through his agent, Los Angeles is where he lived his best days, and he wants to create more of those memories before his career is over. This is the kind of story that transcends sports. It's about legacy, about finding your way back to where you belong, about prioritizing winning and happiness over maximizing every last dollar. In an era where players routinely chase the biggest payday regardless of team fit or personal connection, Bellinger's willingness to prioritize returning to Los Angeles is genuinely refreshing. It reminds us that baseball is still a game played by human beings with emotions and memories and connections that go beyond just business. The Dodgers front office is reportedly deep in evaluation mode right now. They're running numbers, analyzing defensive metrics, projecting offensive contributions, and most importantly, determining whether bringing Bellinger back makes sense both for 2026 and beyond. There are questions to answer. What would a contract look like? How many years would they be willing to commit? Would Bellinger accept a shorter-term deal to prove himself and potentially earn a bigger payday later? How would his return impact playing time for other outfielders on the roster? These are complex decisions that require careful consideration. But here's what we know for certain. The Dodgers have a need. Bellinger wants to fill that need. His agent has publicly acknowledged the mutual interest. The financial framework appears workable, and perhaps most importantly, the baseball fit makes tremendous sense. Bellinger can play center field, left field, and first base, giving manager Dave Roberts incredible flexibility with his lineup construction and defensive alignments. His left-handed bat would provide balance. His postseason experience is invaluable, and his connection to the fan base could create an emotional energy that propels the team through the long grind of a 162-game season. Imagine the scene at Dodger Stadium on opening day if this deal happens. Cody Bellinger, wearing number 35 again, stepping into the batter's box for his first at-bat back in Dodger blue. The standing ovation would be deafening. Grown men would have tears in their eyes. It would be a Hollywood moment in every sense of the phrase, a prodigal son returning home to finish the story he started. These are the moments that define franchises and create memories that last forever. The three-peat quest is real, and it's happening right now. The Dodgers aren't just defending their championships. They're actively hunting for number 3, and they're willing to make bold moves to get there. Bringing back Bellinger would be exactly that kind of move. A decision that combines smart baseball analysis with emotional resonance, that addresses a genuine roster need while also creating a narrative that fans can rally around. Some critics will say this is looking backward rather than forward, that the Dodgers should focus on younger players with higher ceilings rather than bringing back someone who had disappointing seasons earlier in his career. But those critics are missing the bigger picture. Bellinger isn't the same player who struggled in 2021 and 2022. He's evolved, matured, and most importantly, he's healthy. His production with the Cubs demonstrated that he still has plenty of good baseball left in him, and reuniting with the organization where he first became a star could unlock even more potential. The baseball world is watching this situation closely because it represents everything that makes the sport compelling. There's history, emotion, strategy, and high stakes all wrapped into one decision. The Dodgers could play it safe, roll with their current roster, and hope that internal options step up. Or they could be aggressive, bring back a former superstar who wants to be there, and send a message that they're all in on making history. Based on everything we know about how Andrew Friedman operates, the aggressive move seems much more likely. We're also seeing a fascinating dynamic play out with other teams. The Yankees reportedly made a significant offer to Bellinger, dangling big money and the prestige of playing in the Bronx. For many players, that would be impossible to turn down. But Bellinger's connection to Los Angeles appears stronger than New York's financial temptations. He experienced his peak years as a Dodger. He won his MVP as a Dodger. His most cherished baseball memories happened at Chavez Ravine. That kind of connection cannot be manufactured or bought, and it's apparently worth more to him than whatever premium the Yankees were offering. This rejection of the Yankees in favor of returning to Los Angeles would also create an interesting narrative throughout the 2026 season if both teams end up competing for American League and National League supremacy respectively. Every time the Dodgers face the Yankees, there would be an added layer of storyline as Bellinger proves his choice was the right one. Sports are built on these kinds of narratives, and this one has the potential to be truly special. The timing of all this couldn't be better. We're in the heart of the off-season when teams are making their most important decisions. Free agency is in full swing. Trade discussions are happening behind closed doors, and the Dodgers, despite their recent success, are not sitting idle. They understand that in baseball, you're either getting better or getting worse. Standing still is not an option, especially when you're chasing unprecedented history. For Dodgers fans, this news provides hope and excitement during what can sometimes be a long, cold winter waiting for spring training. The idea that Cody Bellinger could be back in the lineup, patrolling center field, and contributing to another championship run is the kind of storyline that makes following baseball year-round worthwhile. It reminds us why we fell in love with this team and this sport in the first place. The business side of baseball can often feel cold and transactional, but stories like this prove that there's still room for emotion, loyalty, and genuine connection. Bellinger doesn't need to return to Los Angeles for financial security. He's made plenty of money in his career and will continue to make more regardless of where he signs. But he wants to be a Dodger again. He wants to walk through that clubhouse, hear the roar of the Dodger Stadium crowd, and be part of something truly special. That desire cannot be faked, and it's exactly the kind of mentality that wins championships. As we move forward into the final stages of the offseason, all eyes will be on the Dodgers front office to see how they handle this opportunity. Will they pull the trigger and bring Bellinger back? Will they pursue other options? Will they make a surprise move that nobody saw coming? Whatever they decide, we can be confident that the decision will be made with one goal in mind: winning a third consecutive World Series championship and cementing this group's place in baseball immortality. The pieces are all there. The need exists. The player wants to return. The fit makes sense. The stars appear to be aligning for one of the most compelling reunion stories in recent baseball history. Cody Bellinger could be coming home, and if it happens, the 2026 season just got infinitely more interesting. This is the kind of move that defines legacies, creates unforgettable moments, and reminds us all why baseball is America's pastime. The Dodgers are building something special, something historic, and Bellinger wants to be part of it. He wants to prove that leaving Los Angeles was a mistake, that his best baseball is still ahead of him, and that he belongs among the legends who have worn Dodger blue throughout the franchise's storied history. The front office has tough decisions to make, but they've earned our trust through years of smart moves and championship success. Whatever they decide regarding Bellinger will be done with careful consideration of both short-term impact and long-term consequences. But make no mistake, this is a real possibility. not just wishful thinking or off-season rumor mongering. The interest is genuine on both sides, and the baseball logic supports making this reunion happen. So here we are, on the precipice of a potentially franchise-altering decision. The Dodgers could be days or weeks away from announcing that Cody Bellinger is coming home. The MVP is returning. The prodigal son is putting the uniform back on. And the quest for 3 straight championships just got even more exciting. This is why we follow baseball in the offseason. This is why every rumor, every report, every piece of information matters. Because sometimes, just sometimes, the stories that seem too good to be true actually happen. Now, I absolutely need to hear from you. Do you want to see Cody Bellinger back in Dodger blue? Do you think he can help deliver that historic 3rd consecutive championship? Or would you rather see the Dodgers pursue other options in free agency? This is the kind of decision that will define the offseason, and your voice matters. Drop a comment right now and let me know exactly what you think. Should Andrew Friedman make this move? Is Bellinger the missing piece? Or are you skeptical about bringing back a former player? And while you're down there in the comments, do me a favor. Type "Go Dodgers" and tell me what city you're watching from. I want to see just how far our incredible Dodgers family reaches around the world. Are you watching from Los Angeles? Maybe you're a Dodgers fan in New York, showing those Yankees fans how it's done. Or perhaps you're international, representing Dodger blue in another country entirely. Let me know where you are. If you love this team as much as I do, if you want to stay updated on every single development this offseason, if you need to know the moment Cody Bellinger officially becomes a Dodger again, then you absolutely must smash that subscribe button right now. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. We're bringing you daily updates, breaking news, insider information, and the kind of in-depth analysis you won't find anywhere else. This channel is your home for everything Dodgers, and this offseason is going to be absolutely wild. And don't forget to crush that like button. It helps this video reach more Dodgers fans. It tells YouTube that this content matters, and it lets me know that you want more of this kind of in-depth coverage. We're building something special here, a community of Dodgers fans who live and breathe this team 365 days a year. The return of Cody Bellinger isn't just a baseball transaction. It's a homecoming, a second chapter, and potentially the final piece of a championship puzzle. That's where he lived his best days, and those best days might be about to happen all over again. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers we're talking about. This is three-peat territory.